as I've been saying, I'm just in this studio. I'm not here alone, as now you have been just getting all the updates of what we have been discussing last time. And today, I'm not alone on this wonderful studio. I'm just with
Adela M. London, Kampala, Uganda.
Wow, welcome back to our wonderful studio. Now, we have already welcomed you, and we'll get different surprises from wherever, from whatever you are doing. And then it was very wonderful, and most of people would even welcome you in Butembo so that we may welcome you physically. Why not even make different conferences at different universities and to empower young generation?
Thank you
and
so
then
much.
so that people can just discover what is it going on abroad. Wow.
Yeah.
So for today, yes, we used to say that it's a youth empowerment, and now we have welcomed you in this wonderful radio program. So in short, I don't know if you're still remembering of what we have discussed about. In short, if you may have any advice you can just share to all of those who have been maybe they missed out our last radio program. In short, what they can just understand as a piece of advice for what we discussed last time.
Okay, wonderful, Mr. Michael Kakule. Asanteni. So, my dear youth, my fellow youth, we are supposed to work hard, okay? We are supposed to implement our ideas, our theory, and our skills into practical form. Like what you know in your head, just implement it and put it in reality. That's what I can advise you. Because whatever that we are, we live to earn a living, because you cannot be there without being facilitated. You have to facilitate yourself. You don't need to look ahead, to look at somebody, to look at your family to help you, but you stand on your own. You have to be self-reliant, as we discussed in the last discussion. You have to be dependent, self-dependent, so as to avoid dependent syndrome.
Wow, this is in short what we can just take as in case you miss out the last radio program, please take note of this piece of advice. By the way, there are more people who have been tuning in this radio program and who are proud of your presence in this wonderful radio station. So hopefully, as we have been talking more about entrepreneurs, entrepreneurship, what about just in short?
In short,
Yes, because most
yeah.
of people have been just somehow talking without even themselves being involved. In short.
Wonderful. I want to define for you. Just now, let me give you theory, but make it into a practical form, okay? In practical reality. An entrepreneurship is a process of creating something different with value by devoting the necessary time and effort, assuming the accompanying financial, psychological, social risks, and receiving rewards of monetary and personal satisfaction. When we talk of entrepreneurship, we base on these major things like new businesses, lot of creativity, innovation, management skills, research skills, so as to be a best entrepreneur.
Wow. And as more you are just training in this radio program, now it have been close to you, entrepreneurship, just like as your life studies, which are just close to you, as if you are just at school. Now we have been learning, because there are most of people who can just say, no, why are we talking about this entrepreneurship, or this entrepreneurs, why they have been doing. So anyway, could you just remind us, at least in short, what are just those characteristics of those who have been just involved in creation, business, and even different innovations and whatever? So how can we divide them? How can we realize that this is the right person we are in need of?
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Michael Kakule. These are some of the characteristics of an entrepreneur. Initiative taking, like you need to start up. You have to start up and implement your ideas. That's what it means. Then organizing and reorganizing social and economic mechanisms. And another one, that means you have to turn everything like resources and solutions to practical account. And also the third one is acceptance of risks and losses or failures.
Wow, there are more people who have been turning in, have been trying most of the time, even trying to involve in different sectors, but they have been fearing because there are risks and even fearing what they have been just maybe damaged or maybe whatever. They didn't have any mentorship program. By the way, can you just advise them before just knowing more about different factors which those they can be just having for new entrepreneur and new just new business we can be having here? Because before reaching out to them, so is there any advice? Because most of people have been just fearing.
Yes, please. I advised my fellow youth in DRC, in Uganda, in Kenya, all over East Africa and Africa at large, that before you start, like you as an entrepreneur, before you set up something new or renovation or innovation, you have to look at, you find your strength, your threats, strength and weaknesses. Identify your weaknesses and then know how to overcome. Do not fear to take risks because every business involves risks. And I advise you not to look at more capital accumulation, more money, more profits before you get far. You have to start up with something small. Even if you make a profit of 500 shillings, maybe, or 500 naira, or $500, it doesn't matter how much you started with. If you make loss and you still manage to put your business right, please, you can do. Do not focus on much more profit accumulation at the startup. You will start in losses, but keep trying. Do not give up. It will push you far.
Wow. A group academia group at your side, just for teaching and advocacy for how we can just make involvement. So in short, if in case you could just give some factors for new business, because now you have been saying no, now people have to take their courage to start and
Yes.
to do what they have supposed to do instead of waiting for big capital, maybe more money, or for good spaces, or more spares. I don't know what they have to be involved.
Thank you so much. And now, before I give them factors, they need to first know the process. Yes, before you get to know what is needed, you need to know the process.
Of course.
So let me define what an entrepreneur's process needs. You need identification and evaluation of opportunities, then development of business plan. You have to scheme your plan, your framework, and then determination of the required resources. You need to know what resources are needed, and then management of the resulting enterprise or management skills.
Yeah.
May I first give them that innovation?
No. But by this, we understand that there are most of people who have been at least wake up and then start business without even getting those steps. So it's better just to come back to them, so that we may enlighten them at least, so they have to identify what is needed in their places.
Exactly.
Because most of people can say, no, I'll be just copy. As now we used to say copy coli at our place. Most of people, you have seen someone doing these things, and then for you, you are going to do the same things. Although on the ground, there are different opportunities which can just facilitate you to get. Please get back to those points. They can be just helpful for most of people, because there are more who have been just close to other someone's ideas instead of being close to their ideas.
What I advise my youth is that don't do something because someone is doing it. You have to be self-driven, and you have to have passion for what you're doing. Yes, we should have them as role models to say so and so is successful. Learn to know how does that person do the business, but you can apply the same tactics in your own business or in your own project, not specifically what the person is doing, because we are blessed differently. And we are talented differently. Like me, I'm a musician, I write songs, and I am a dancer. I do cultural dancing. Yeah, even in dance hall I can. So now let me take to you innovation.
Of course.
With innovation, you have to be with that passion for something. Innovation means it is a process of bringing about new ideas, methods, products, services, solutions with significant positive impact and value. That's just what innovation means. Then I bring to you factors.
Wow, that's wonderful. Because most of people have been just at home watching whatever other people are doing, but this innovation invite them to do something specific, like which it is have somehow like new looks, which it can have just somehow the specific design. So wonderful. I've been this radio program. It has been not only teaching, but it's just now a real life skill, which we have just to know about, because most of people have to be just close to, or just they have been just followers without even initiating anything. But for the time after this radio program, make sure that you are going to start something new from your community, from your village, from everywhere. You are just turning in this radio program. In case we are just in Tembo town, make sure that we have to do as soon as possible so that we may just get involved. So, okay, let's turn back again to factors of new entrepreneurs, maybe new business, which can be just here and down, so that people may just know what can we do and what can we have as factors.
Yes, exactly. We come to the factors for entrepreneurship or for the enterprise. First and foremost is unique business proposition and comprehensive marketing analysis. Why do I say unique business? This is what I have been saying, that do not copy, do not see what others are doing, but come up with something unique and different for you to get market, because the market is competitive. So come out with something unique and different. And then second point, choosing right legal framework and registration. Of course, you have to look into those registration processes and to make it legal. And financial planning and management. You have to plan, how much am I supposed to start with and how to manage it, because you have to maintain or sustain your business capital. Then location and premises. This means accessibility. If you are doing business, you don't need to go in hidden places or deep down there. You have to come across to accessible roadside, to busy places, to centers, to dense population places. You don't need to go to scarcity, to scarcely populated areas. And also networking and building relationships. Of course, you have to make yourself known, to socialize, to know. You have to go to social places, to get known. You advertise there.
So I would like to ask something, because there are most of people who have been just working as selfishness, as well the networking in the business. It have been just one of factors. I'm very interested of that, because most of people, once they may say no networking with others, and there are where maybe others will teach on what they have been just doing, and then they spoil the company, whatever. So what can you advise them? What about actually this networking business?
Yeah, actually, I advise all the entrepreneurs to be free. You have to share your ideas, your knowledge, so as to get more skills from the people you're sharing with. If you keep reserved, you miss a lot of information of which may not be knowing. So there should be a spirit of love, teamwork, what share it to your friend. It doesn't mean that they will push you out of the market strategy. You keep on, but how you do things different, it matters. I come to another point. Compliance and local regulation is like license, permit. Like I told you, like in Kenya, without work permit, you cannot get to anyone's company, neither can you open up a company. So you have to register for that. Even in Uganda, there are permits, license, taxation, like that. And also talent acquisition is another factor. Talent acquisition and management. If you have to do something, first see if you're blessed in it, if you have the talent, if you have crew. Because I cannot say, let me start a cultural troupe when I don't know how to dance. I cannot say, let me be a musician when I do not know how to write a music. Well, there are those who go for writing, but I want to do both for myself. I write and I sing. Neither can I choose to do that when I do not know how to sing. So that's what it means is being talent acquisition. You have to acquire the talent, then implement it.
So by adding by this, because there are most of people who are just looking up and down, saying that they have to get someone else to get a good idea for them, although they do still having different skills, which can be just even involved. So because even we have seen even most of business, they used to fail because they do not have any good skills. And they are not focused on what they have supposed to do, because everyone will be just relaxing, doing at his own risk, anything which he wants, although they are not passionate on that. So I would like you to emphasize about that. Is there anything which you can be adding for all those who have been somehow like cheating or just looking at different people? Even you have seen European doing something which is not possible to be done in Africa, and then they would like them to do just in our regions without having enough skills on what they are doing. So is there any advice you can just share with them?
I advise the youth to do what they really love. You have to do something with passion and do not expect to get free things or free money. You have to work hard for it. Do not cheat in your entrepreneurship. As an entrepreneur, you are not supposed to overcharge. You are not supposed to, to do corruption or even you get free money. You have to work hard. When you see you're doing something that is not coming out, you don't like what you're doing, please quit and find another thing. Also, if I add adapting to local culture and to behavior, customs, and tradition, it also encompasses within that. And lastly, you can do continuous learning and research, acceptability concerning what you have told me to advise them. You have to research and see, how can I survive? How can I maintain my business? Do not do something without any knowledge. At least first research and come up with something that you are sure of.
Yeah, that's good, because most of young people who have been just turning in this radio program, although they have been doing some